So you walked in here today, by the way, with you said, "Hey, I'm dog sitting."
Yeah.
So like, is it cool if I bring the dog?
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, that's fine." I thought you were gonna bring a dog. I didn't know you were gonna bring a beast, like an entire bear.
Bro.
This dog is so big.
Don't come at her like that, bro.
It's not even that. It's that like this dog takes up the space of all of my 4 pets I have in here combined.
Well, you have little dogs.
I have little dogs and little cats. I mean, cats are just normal sized.
Yeah.
This dog is way bigger than any of those combined. Like they could all try to get on top of each other's shoulders and try to take this dog on and would not be able to. So
no.
That's why I think it's an interesting a thing to not mention. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
her size?
It's just you know what I mean? Like because you mentioned it, like it isn't a big deal, but you mentioned it like it was literally no big deal. That this is a big deal.
Literally.
Yeah, like this deal that we have. This is a big dog.
Yeah. It's not helping my wife's dog fever. She wants one of these now.
I mean, what are you against dogs for? Because I feel like you've never really been a have a dog person.
Well, it's how you grow up, right? My parents didn't like dogs.
But usually, I mean, I would think, I know they didn't, but you would think like when I grow up, I'm gonna get a fucking dog then.
Well, that's how I always was, and then I realized how much like responsibility it is.
Yeah, but you don't have a kid yet, so it's all right. It gives you that stepping stone.
No. But see. When I became an uncle, the process of introducing the baby to the dogs was ridiculous. And, like, I don't ever want to go through that again. Like,
what'd you have to do?
It was just so stressful. Well, for starters, like, we were there the first night they brought her home. And then we also did not sleep. Because every time they got up because the baby was crying, the dogs would be like, yo, what the hell is that? And they're, like, clawing at the door, like, barking and stuff, like, trying to figure out what it is. And Navarre and I had the dog, so they kept waking us up. And then...
what dog was it? This dog?
No. It was a pit and the lab, yeah. And it's 2 big dogs, a chocolate lab and a pit.
That child's gonna get eaten.
No. They're sweet, but it's like they're heavy. You know, like if they try to like
that baby will get squashed.
Yeah. So like it would stress. It was like stressful for like I feel like I was stressing too. Like I was like, yo, this is ridiculous. Like there's a newborn doing newborn stuff. Like, we're all trying to figure that out, and these dogs are going crazy because they want to know what's happening. And I'm like,
you gotta keep the dogs in the loop, dog. You just gotta let the dogs know what's going on.
No, after that, I was like, I'm cool on that. I told my wife, I was like, when our kids can walk, we can get a dog.
No, my kids are being introduced with pets off rip. There's kind of no choice. Like,
well, yeah, you don't really have a choice.
I have too many pets.
Or
every so often,
yeah.
Like my wife's like, yo, another pet? Should we get another cat? I'm like, no. Like, that's it. It's a wrap. We have way too many of these motherfuckers roaming around here 4-legged.
No, and I think if it's like
you know how many socks 4 pets wear? You know how many socks 4 pets go through?
Why would they wear socks?
It's a lot of socks, dog.
Why do they wear socks?
It's be hot in these streets.
Bro, and you call me white.
No, I'm just saying, you know how many socks 4 pets run through?
Why do they wear socks?
4-legged creatures run through?
Why do you put socks on them?
How are they going to protect their feet, their paws?
Their paws.
What is this dog doing with no socks?
Bro, why does she need socks?
Why do you have this dog out here descalzo?
Bro, she's not going to get sick.
I guess let's start the pod.
All right, let's
start the pod. We'll get you some socks. We'll start the pod.
All right.
Two, one. Welcome to 2.5 Citizens Podcast. I'm Zen.
All right. I was disrespectful to you last weekend, and I'm going to keep that same energy with the disrespect and say that Drake's new album was basically the song Passion Fruit in a full-length album.
Now, look, I thought a lot about what you said when you said that, and I understood what you meant, as disrespectful as it was.
And the fact that it was a 7 a.m. text.
Yeah, literally, it was the first thing I woke up to was disrespect. But as disrespectful as that was, it just made me realize how uncultured you are.
Bro, what do you
no.
No,
I thought about it.
hit me with the mental gymnastics.
I thought about it
it's a
because
good
at first
album.
I was like the first time I was like, damn, that's disrespectful for you to just reduce it to that. And then I'm like, oh, that just goes to show he just doesn't know the world, doesn't know house music, doesn't truly understand like, you know, the fabric of music because there's not 808s in it. You know what I mean? Like, and like street bars, which he still had some street bars in there. Like, we're gonna act like on the last song when Jimmy cooks,
there was no heartbreak to his 808s.
I don't know, dog. You're gonna act like the line, I'm gonna throw a party for my day ones. They ain't in the studio, but they'll lay some. That's such a good line, first of all.
I didn't get that far.
That's disrespectful because then you missed the second to last song where he basically just makes it the Weekend type song where he pitches his voice down and has the funniest lines. All right. I you have to at least let me like read these lines to you because they're my favorite lines on the album. Okay? And in the song Liability, you have to listen to the last one because that's the 21 Savage feature. It's the hardest thing ever. 21 for sure. But he goes, friends want to tattle on me. You put your words together like you're getting points for that shit like you're playing Scrabble on me. All right.
You don't even play Scrabble, dog.
Then I don't play Wordle. Then he said, first, he disrespectful. He goes, your mama's the sweetest lady. That apple fell far from the tree. That's a line. That's a bar. And then he goes, at the beginning, it feel like you're going harder than me. Then you step back on that shit, girl. You hit the harden on me. That's a bar, dog.
That's a bar.
It's a bar. All right. Then you go to the next song, Jimmy Cooks, and 21 Savage has some of the disrespectful, one of the most, same thing like he will do. For one, he shouts out the crew, Nadeska, everyday struggle back in the day. Now with Apple Music, he goes asking all these questions, but bitch, you must think you Nadeska. And then he goes, you ready for this one? I don't know if you're ready for this one.
Go.
The chopper like to feel on all the ops. It's a molester.
Oh my god. Hey yo.
Ain't that a little wild? Actually, the first line when he said, spin the block twice like there ain't nowhere to park, that was a hard line. That was a hard line.
That was hard. I'll give it to you. That one was hard.
That's hard.
Yeah.
But the rest of it was truly vibes.
The vibe just didn't change.
You never liked that pussy.
I didn't get that far.
Calling my name.
I got 3 songs in and I was like, oh, they're just going to sound like this the whole time? All right.
So that's why. Now you're even so much more disrespectful. You gave it no chance.
I gave it...
No.
I tried it twice. I said, I got 3 songs deep and I was like, all right.
No.
And then I gave it another spin and I was like, let me shuffle it this time. And I gave it another 3 and it was different songs. I checked and I was like, all right, I'm good.
Here's how you have to do it. This is the way I did it. You got to listen to it 2 times all the way through first.
I tried.
I listened to it all the way through. I said, okay. I caught the vibes from beginning to end. I did it one more time because I was in the shower, like getting ready, like you can't hear everything. Then I heard it on AirPods all the way through. I was like, okay. Then I was like, in the car, I can shuffle it now. I'm like playing songs I've already liked, and now I can shuffle in the car where I'm going to get this vibe experience while I'm out and about. And then you really just start like feeling like this might be one of Drake's best releases.
You're crazy.
Like you come to this point where you understand, where like you now have the knowledge and you're like, this might be one of Drake's best releases.
I think you listened to it enough to where you made yourself think you liked it.
Nah, because when I listened to Views for the first time, I remember like when it comes to me and like Drake albums, like they really got to like say something to me because when If You're Reading This Is Too Late came out, which was a mixtape promoting the whole Views rollout, I was like, that's hard as fuck.
Oh, the Chick-fil-A writing?
Yeah. When like Summer 16 came out, I was like, this track is so fucking hard. When Hotline Bling came out, like all these things where I was like, damn, this is just the promo. This album finna be fire. And then Views came out and I was like, Like the first time I listened to it, I'm like, I'm not really feeling this. Like I don't know why this was so highly anticipated.
Yeah.
And then songs that are like poppin' just became poppin', and you know we'd still listen to the album based on those poppin' songs, but I really didn't care about views. Then More Life came out, and that's where Passion Fruit was on, and it was like fucking 2 albums worth of music that he called a mixtape or a playlist. He called it a playlist, and it was all these songs that I still don't go back and listen to songs off More Life because I don't really care about it.
Yeah.
And so to that, I was the same. I was the way I was thinking that's how I was gonna feel with this, but when I listened to this, I don't know. I guess it's really the vibe in me. I guess it's really like that is the vibe that I fuck with because it really did resonate with me a little more. Like, I know everyone around me is not feeling it, but Sticky, that's been a song that people have been like saying is a song. And what I've been also noticing is he's not dumb. So it's going to do what it does. People are going to have their opinions, but already TikTok's going crazy with the beats. TikTok's going crazy with like they're making all sorts of things with the vibes. So it's gonna pop off, I feel like still. Like I still think it's gonna have its run.
And I think I'm not a big fan of like his singing thing.
So you want to hear him just spit bars and have a whole rap album. You're one of those guys.
No, I like it.
You're one of the guys who's waiting for him to have a classic rap album with just rapping.
I like it, but it's just like
it's just what?
I get tired of it after a while.
You get tired of seeing the greatest to ever do it?
Yeah.
So, like, you're telling me, like, if you were out there in Chicago back in the day, you would just be getting tired of seeing Jordan just sweep the floor with people?
Maybe. No, I'm just kidding. No,
I mean, because that's what it sounds like you're saying here, dog. It just sounds like, man, I'm just getting tired of seeing him do so well.
No, I'm not.
I'm just getting tired of him just being here, being great.
But I don't think it's great.
Because you're in denial.
I'm not in denial.
I feel like you're denying.
I was like, okay, no. I was like, I'm crazy. So I get in the car, and then I told my mom, like, yeah, Drake dropped an album while we were asleep, because we're old. And I played it, and we're listening to it. I think we were driving somewhere. Oh, yeah, we were. Were we going to Fredericksburg? I don't know where we were going, but it was somewhere like in the morning, and
you'll just be taking trips to Fredericksburg now.
We're Wine Club members, dude.
Okay, all right.
No, we haven't been back.
I knew you wouldn't.
But we're thinking about it. We're thinking about possibly the idea of maybe one day that we'll go back.
Okay.
Potentially. But yeah, we're like 3 songs in, and she's like, "This isn't good," and I'm like, "Okay, I know I'm not crazy," and then I put something else.
No, Alicia doesn't think it's good either. But I also know she's uncultured and doesn't understand music. God. So it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, you listen to the Bad Bunny album back to back to back to back to back. Yeah, you don't think that this is good because you just are uncultured and just don't understand.
Why are you coming at Bad Bunny like this?
Bad Bunny's fine. Like, Bad Bunny's cool and all. Like, I have no qualms with Bad Bunny.
Whoa, it sounds like you're...
I have no qualms with Bad Bunny, but, like, how many times can you say, hey, before it, like, you know what I mean?
How many times can you go, ooh?
What? You sound like you literally sounded like you were a ghost.
Like,
you didn't see a ghost.
Like, ooh, girl.
I don't know what.
I don't know.
Sing?
Like that Drake voice that he does when he's like singing.
You mean Drake's voice when he sings? Drake's singing voice?
I don't even think it's a singing voice. I think it's like him kind of talking. It's like it's good for a little bit, and then you're like, all right, man. Like,
but here's the thing: slow. It's because the songs are not meant for lyrics or even really like. They're just meant for the vibes, and then you add these vocal inflections to add melodies. You're focusing on these little melodies and like how you're gonna piece them all together. I don't know. To me, it's a vibe. I'm gonna keep listening to it all summer. So when we're at the pool party and I'm vibing,
oh my god,
don't even be coming for me.
Oh my god,
don't even be coming for me.
It's gonna be so weird.
No, it's gonna be the vibe. You're gonna realize that that's the time and place.
It's so slow for a pool party.
No, it's not. Yes, you're not gonna understand. We're gonna have a pool party. Specifically for the album.
Specifically for the album. It's going to be so slow.
Because if you ask Mondo, I'm sure he's going to have a completely different opinion on this. Because he's going to be at the pool party, hella bitches jamming the new Drake. Because someone on Twitter specifically said that this Drake album is for dudes who take fine women on boats and on vacation and all the people who don't like it are just where my hug at dudes. So you're really giving me where my hug at energy right now.
First off,
I'm just saying.
how
That's
am I gonna how do
across.
I have where my hug at
Energy towards the album? Towards the album.
When I'm
towards the album.
I'm married.
Towards the album.
But okay. It's just
You've turned dad, and that's fine. You're not up to what the kids are doing now.
Drake is older than me.
No, but you don't. But he keeps up with what's happening. He's already been there, done that. He says y'all are gonna see. He's saying this is his 808s and heartbreaks. No, he's saying this is his Yeezus. He didn't say that.
But Yeezus had good songs.
No, but everyone was saying it was bad, and then everyone was influenced by it. So he's saying y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna catch up. Y'all just gotta catch up. You just have to catch up.
I just have to catch up.
Because if you remember,
listen. If I have to catch up,
if you remember back when we were trying to record music way back in the day, I was already on this dance wave. I was out here trying to make dance tracks. I've been on the wave.
I remember.
So this is just where I live. You feel me?
Yeah.
This speaks to me.
Yeah.
But let's get into some news here because you got me all heated this morning.
I got you all heated. I'm sorry.
I almost have to take the beanie off. It's just got me in a different mode today. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into a few topics here.
So I know you make fun of me for watching F1, but there's been some controversy lately. And it didn't happen in F1. It was in F2.
So what's the difference?
All right, so let me culture you on that. Let me mansplain to you how you get into F1.
Okay.
So there's karting, where you're in it as a little kid.
And like, how many millions of dollars does a family have to have?
A lot.
A lot?
Yeah. Okay. And then the goal is to get sponsored, to then go to Europe, do F4, and there's like driver academy. So every team has a driver academy. So Ferrari has a driver academy, Red Bull, all the F1 teams, they all have academies to scout out the next talent. And the goal is to go through it and just try to make your way into F1. So you go
right.
F4, F3, F2, and then at F2 you're almost there. It's really, when you're at the F2 stage, is how do I win the championship and get enough sponsors, because it's going to take millions of dollars to be in F1. So it's like, how do I rally the most sponsors I can get the most, my name out there, the momentum, because it's like, it's not just about being a good driver. It's how much money can you bring into the team, how much face recognition you have. Because there's a driver right now, Daniel Ricciardo. He's not doing so well, but because he's the biggest driver in the States, most people in the States know who Daniel Ricciardo is. That's why he hasn't been dropped.
Yeah.
Especially since F1 is trying to break into the American audience a lot. So
I feel like that Drive to Survive is helping him out.
Yeah, because he's a really good personality. Anyway, that being said, Yuri Vips is, I think he's from Norway or some European. He is basically was going to be the next golden child at Red Bull. He had already gotten a chance to test one of the cars during one of the races. They literally they told, Sergio Perez, who's a current driver, hey, just let little guy hop on, do a few laps, then we'll give you the car back. So he, things were looking good for him. I think if he won the championship, then eventually he'd get picked up by another team, because you have the option to stick with Red Bull, and if a seat opens up, because there's only 2 seats, so if a seat opens up, then they can bring you in, or they could rent
team who's got a seat.
Yeah, they could rent you out to another team. So he was on live on Twitch, doing what European white boys do, apparently.
And what game was he playing?
I think it was Warzone or Call of Duty, one of those.
Okay.
And he said the N-word.
All right. Now
this wasn't because this wasn't an old tweet from 2009.
But was he losing? When you're raging on those games,
I think
sometimes.
I think regardless, next day Red Bull drops him.
I mean, obviously understandable.
Yeah.
Obviously, but it's Twitch has rules too. You can't even his fear is also he can get kicked off Twitch.
Yeah.
Which is he can definitely get banned for that. He'll definitely get a strike for that. That's not people are getting banned left and right. Their biggest creators they're banning off of Twitch. So it's kind of they don't care. They're gonna keep up with the rules and regulations that they've set in place. So it's just kind of wild. if you're on live and you know you're being streamed, you should, unless you have such a problem that you don't even catch yourself saying it.
Yeah.
Because it's like you should be able to
that's where
put a word replacement in or something.
Yeah. That's where I'm like, bro, you try to Papa John's your way out of this one.
Did he try to Papa John's his way out of it? He should. I don't know how he can. I know I saw the apology.
Yeah.
I saw the apology where he basically said there's no excuse for what I said. And it's not a representation of who I am.
Yeah.
But you're not showing us that it's not a representation of who you are when you've literally put it out while you're streaming. Like, the whole point of streaming.
He lost hella followers. He's at 101.
I don't know where he was before.
I mean, it's pretty high. Like I said, this is like right before they make it.
Because my whole thing is like, when you're Twitch streaming, the thing that makes Twitch streaming so cool and like makes people want to watch it is that you feel like you're dealing with the authentic person.
Right. It's like you're playing with your homies. Like
you can only be unauthentic for so long. Like when you're doing the race, like you're in mode, right? But when you're like playing video games, the whole idea is you're kind of like relaxing. In a sense, I mean, it's competitive. I never understood relaxing with video games. You just get stressed the fuck out.
I get more stressed, yeah.
But idealistically, they're just like, you know, kicking back and they're playing this game or whatever, and they're just being themselves. So this is more of a representation of who you are.
That's what I'm saying.
This is more of a representation of your character.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, it's an interesting one, especially without context. But I'm sure.
No, I can play the video. It's kind of wild.
It is?
Yeah.
Like, are you no longer fucking with him in the F2 space?
Yeah, it's hard to.
Him?
It's hard to, man.
Did you unfollow him?
I didn't follow him to begin with. I apologize if you hear the word. This is not us saying it.
Oh, I cut them! Oh, my God. Fuck. Nigga. Oh, yeah. Fury. Yeah. Oh, fucking... Man, I hate snipers now. I keep fucking cracking them.
He said it with the A, though.
That doesn't make it right.
It doesn't. It doesn't. But when I hear that, all right. Hold on. This is and I do not condone anybody saying that word, especially a white guy.
Yeah.
But you know, he said it like a homie was saying it to another homie. Like he didn't say like.
So this is the question I wanted
because he didn't call someone like you effing hard R. Because that's when I'd be like, yo, dog, you hate this person. He was like, bitch.
Yeah.
And he said it, and it's not right. But it's almost like if he was listening to a rap song before.
That's where I wanted to go to, because my family, like some of my family members are Mexican. They don't understand the connotations of that word. Maybe they don't get it as much in Europe too. When you have these white ass countries that all they have is white people, and all they hear is like rappers like saying it.
Yeah.
So like they don't know the history behind.
You don't think they do though?
I don't. I want to. Maybe I don't know. I genuinely I don't know.
Maybe
because
maybe they look at it differently. Maybe it's not ingrained in their
because we live in it, dog. Like that's where I have to be like, okay, we live in this. You know.
So
that's where I'm, because they were like, because they were saying like, you know, like, yeah, that's bad, but like, what's like, they're like, I don't get it, like, I don't like, they were like confused, and I didn't want to get into the whole explaining on why it's bad and the history.
Like, so there were slaves before.
You know? I didn't want to get into all that. I just let it be what it was. So then I started thinking, I was like, man, if they're so like confused by it, like, could that be the same thing over there? Because it's like, one, you're European, you live in a white-ass country. Two, you're super rich. Because like you gotta be rich to like do this stuff.
Yeah, but here's my thing is like...
And it's not to excuse it, it's just, I'm wondering if
but my thing with that is like, you're so rich, you're in places with people of certain status. You know what I mean? Like the whole idea of like when someone like us goes to a really nice place, it's like, don't embarrass me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, fucking act right because we're about to be in front of people that matter. So if that's the case, wouldn't you feel like you should know how to like be media trained in a sense, know what you should and shouldn't say?
Right.
Basically be classy enough to not let shit like that slip, or is that just normal in the space? Is amongst all like the high class people, this shit just kind of normal, and that's why.
I feel like they all like do stuff like that, and because they're so high up, maybe there's no one to check them. And like I said, they're not in it like in the States. Like, I feel like it's so much more different here. But also, you can't be doing stuff like that because, dude, when you're in F1, there's cameras every race weekend. Like, there's a whole day dedicated to press.
But with that being said, do you think because
these big companies aren't gonna be playing with you, dude.
Right? But the thing with these big companies is now they're basically trying to get American viewership.
Right.
But why? American viewership's cool and all, but we're not. That's what I'm noticing now. Like, I don't think we're the important market as much anymore. We're the important market for influence because we make people feel like this is what's cool. Mm-hmm. But there's way more people in all these other places.
Oh no, don't get it twisted. They're not stupid. Like, they have races in Shanghai and like
exactly. But what I'm saying then is,
and they added a Chinese driver this year.
Is America gonna start becoming a liability? Where people are like, yo, I don't want to like.
No, because like our moral high ground of certain things.
If it wasn't big in the States, I don't think this would be a story.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, if this wasn't big in the States, this might not be taken the way that he probably wouldn't have been removed.
Right.
So do you think people might start saying, yo, fuck America? Like, I don't feel like dealing with the American audience because it's not even that big. They're not even like providing that much money for us, and they're just fucking problems because anytime somebody says something, it's a big deal and they need to be canceled. Because that canceling shit's like an American thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, in other places, like, you just be like, yeah, that person's a piece of shit. I don't really like them. Like, a person will be like, I don't like them, but
well, I don't know if canceling is a American thing because they were like my family was saying, like, oh, they're trying to cancel him for this. So, like, they knew the term.
Of course, but
so I don't know if there's, like, canceling in Mexico.
It's an American thing. It all basically started with the Me Too movement.
Right.
Like, that's when the whole idea of canceling someone, and everyone would say that, and that's become a common word to use, that someone's being canceled. Like, your fucking family must know what Karen means.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this has become ubiquitous with, like, the whole
It is
concept.
interesting because, obviously, the U.S. still drives the culture. Like, we still say what's cool.
Not as much anymore. If you really think about it, Squid Game was the hottest show.
I mean, no, like, we're losing it.
And that's not from us.
No, I understand that we're losing it, but we're still the juggernaut overall. Like, you have your outliers like Squid Game, but I'm saying, like, I think that's why they want to break into the U.S. market because, like, we still drive what's cool. So it's like if you have American people doing something, then the rest of the world is gonna follow. So it's like it may be marketing the other world by just having us be into it.
But that's to me an old style of thinking because when you look at bands like groups like BTS, and you see
100.
things like Squid Games, and you see K-pop being like so big, and you see like anime,
even Bad Bunny, like
Bad Bunny being like the biggest artist in the world, and you see anime being like the top watched animated television. It seems like we don't really got a grip on the culture anymore. What the fuck are we really making? Only thing that we make interesting now is documentaries about the fucked up people that live in our country. Yeah. To be honest, I mean, like, Netflix is only popping.
A Marvel movie every summer and winter.
Yeah, but that's just because we like that and we're used to it, but it's not groundbreaking.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like, to me, it's like I kind of feel like we're not driving the culture as much anymore. We just think we are because we host the social media sites or whatever, and like we just think we're the center of the universe because that's just kind of how Americans think.
Yeah. So then, do you think like
because NASCAR ain't popping like F1's popping?
No, NASCAR's always had its audience and it's
right.
It's gonna
that's
keep
the American shit.
Yeah.
F1, we're seeing like this a whole other thing.
Yeah.
This like what we're really looking at now.
And I mean, we have an American version of F1. It's called IndyCar.
And no, I've never heard that word until you just said it right now. So obviously it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it's like for people that are like into racing, like
right.
No.
But see what I'm saying? Like, as far as the casual, I'm not hearing that name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The UFC is an American like fighting association, but all of the fucking people that we're seeing are from other countries because that's what we really want to see.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just seeming like we're losing some influence.
Yeah.
And it might be like people might want to cut us out of the equation because we might be too much of a liability. We might just be too much trouble than it's worth.
Like our yeah.
Like we're willing to have John Cena speak in Mandarin and apologize to China, but that's because their market's worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're willing to do that shit because they're like, yo, there's so many fucking people over there. You better do something. Yeah. America's like, they ain't really got that many people. And what I got to do? I got to fucking quit. I gotta quit to appease the American population. Fuck that.
Yeah.
You know, like they'll be like, we've been here way longer than America. This sport been here way longer than America. You know, and they'll be like, fuck them. You know.
Yeah.
And I mean,
so that's where my question was, where it's like, because obviously I don't know where the word was created. I'm very ignorant to that, but like I'm saying, like I think, yeah, like it might confuse the rest of the world, where it's like because they're not in America, like because they're not living in the and you gotta understand, dude, that like other countries aren't as diverse as we are.
Yeah. But not only that, this is going to start getting wild, but it's like as you start developing more and more and more as like a society that doesn't have to deal with like the struggles of the world, like when you're not worried about animals killing you, you know what I mean? You start then, you know, or you're not worrying about starving, or you're not worrying about like having to have clean water for your family. You start worrying about other things like, you know, we need to stop, you know, this harassment, and which is good. It's a good way of like,
you're out of survival mode and you're into like an intellectual thing.
Right.
I think that's the same thing
so
for
it's
like
with a lot of other countries. I mean, not to say that there aren't very developed countries, but for when this is the thing about this is a global sport. This is a global thing.
Yeah.
And when like people from other places are hearing about what we're complaining about, they're like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Like,
yeah. Well, they also are good at like hiding the racism. We don't hide it.
right.
You know?
So it's kind of like they're just like, yo, just say it in secret like everyone else. You know what I'm saying?
And then that's the thing with like F1 is racist, but they like are sly about it. Like they have like power rankings after every race, like who did the best and what. Sergio Perez is Mexican, and he's had a great season, and his power rankings are like super low. Like it's subtle stuff like that.
Yeah, and so you're just like, you just work the game and you just know what it is and you try to figure out your way around it.
Yeah.
As opposed to just like we've grown up in a world with modern day parenting where it's like, why didn't they pick you? We're going to go talk to the teacher. We need to do something about this.
Yeah.
And you don't figure out how to like just persevere and make it yourself. You're just like, hey, we need to say something and do something about it. In this case, I think we did good. I mean, that was a little wild.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think hopefully there's a redemption arc for him to be able to get out of that, figure out some way.
Yeah, maybe he needs to call Papa John, be like, yo, what training did he do? What school did you go to?
Papa John's was saying it took him 20 months to still be working on.
No, because then he's like, I never said it, but I went to the training to stop saying it, even though I never said it.
To get it out of my vocabulary, even though I never said it.
Yeah.
But just to make sure.
So Yuri, call Papa John. He'll tell you the number for the plays.
And we're going to get into a few topics here.
All right.
So we've been seeing all of the Uvalde stuff unfold, especially with us being here from Texas, just like more and more like cop stuff, like all the lies where basically they said we only have handguns. And then when they said that on the cameras, you see them having rifles and having body shields.
Bro,
and
no
so you'd
way.
be like, okay, all right, dog, whatever. Y'all are pussies.
Sure. Yeah.
Y'all are pussies, we get it. All right. Now, and they've failed to cooperate now, by the way. They've all been like, you know, we ain't even talking no more. Like we don't
even know what happened.
We don't know. We weren't there.
Yeah.
Right? So that's happening, but the interesting thing now is that the mayor has said, yo, we're demolishing the school. And he said no kid should ever have to go back and no teacher should ever have to go back.
I guess that's fair.
And I saw that and I said, that's fair. And then I went to the comments and the first thing I said was, the first thing I see was they trying to hide evidence. And I said, oh, it may be. Because, I mean, at this point, things are looking so crazy for you. Mm-hmm. Like, at this point, it's just like, yo, get rid of the whole fucking school. We don't need them checking doors of what we could have done and what we should have done. Like, you know what? Just get rid of throw the whole school away.
Yeah.
Throw the whole school away. And I don't know if that's a usual thing, but I've never seen that be the response to a school shooting.
Yeah.
Is demolish the school. I respect the decision, but
I understand where it's coming from. I mean,
but with that, you know, it's been a big thing in the news now where it's like, well, what are we going to do about guns? And New York basically tried to say, yo, like, none of y'all getting...
yeah, like it can only be in your house, right?
Yeah, like it can only be in your house. None of y'all getting any concealed carry permits unless you, like, have some sort of special need where, like...
Yeah.
probably like your job needs you to have it or something
Right,
like
like
that.
I thought it was like if you are dropping money off at like a bank or something.
Yeah, like something where like you could be a high target.
Mm-hmm.
But
Which I could see for like, I remember working retail.
yeah.
And I never had to do this, but I know our friend Natalie did, like having to drop off like that the register's cash to like
Yeah.
a certain bank.
So like that's the case where they're basically saying the only reason you would be able to have one. The Supreme Court said, "Nah, fam.
Yeah.
That's infringing on our Second Amendment rights, and y'all ain't passing that." So they basically said like, "Oh, we don't care that everything that's going on in this world seems to be attributed to guns when we're having the conversations about school shootings and stuff like that. Still, we ain't doing it. We ain't budging." And I was just like, all right, whatever. It is what it is. To me, I mean, for me with guns, it's like we live in Texas. We kind of have a different jaded opinion with guns. At least
Right.
I do, because we're just around them our whole lives. And I've been trained since I was a child, you know, coming up hunting and stuff, doing hunter's education, knowing like what courses you should be enrolling in to make sure that you are having proper gun safety. And I've been through them and I've like grown up with them. So to me, it's like that's just a part of life.
You're like a normal gun owner.
Right. So I'm just like, that's just how life, you know what I mean? How things go, especially out in this state. But New York's a whole different story. And the Supreme Court said, nah, fam, we ain't doing nothing about that.
Yeah.
So then that happened. And I'm like, all right. And then yesterday, the fucking world melted.
Did the world melt or did the U.S. melt?
I mean, you're right. You're right. The U.S. melted. I'm thinking we are the world. But
We are the world.
there's been all the talks. It's already been leaked. All the stuff about what was going to happen had already been leaked. Everyone had been talking about it. Texas
Well, it was
is
an
already-
opinion piece.
Yeah, but I think they had like actual, like
I never looked
I thought
that
they had
deep in.
actual. Apparently, they had like an actual thing from the courts, like basically like a ballot or something like that. And basically, like Texas has already been on some wild shit. Same thing. Georgia's been on some wild shit trying to get rid of abortion, which is an interesting one for a lot of people, depending on how you feel religiously, depending on how your life has been, to be honest, because a lot
Right.
of people have had interesting things happen in their lives, and an abortion has kind of been able to give them like a second, you know what I mean, life with a lot of things, sometimes with health concerns, sometimes with the situation not being the most or ideal situation in which you're having a kid.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people, this has like affected their lives. They have like a lot of attachment to this. There's a lot of people who like could have been aborted and weren't, and now they kind of like live their life as like a advocate for that because of who they are. And so it's a big topical thing that like gets talked about in different perspectives. And me, I don't have like a as strong of an opinion to that degree, because to me it's just like, yo, do what you do, you know what I mean? So that my whole thing is, of course, like just do whatever you feel like you need to do, just like I would have to do whatever I feel like I need to do. It's
Like a
I'm
more
not-
libertarian approach. It's
Yeah,
like, don't
I'm-
tell me what to do.
right, but at the same time, like that is pro choice, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that is on that end of the spectrum. I'm not like kill every baby, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, do what you feel is right for your situation.
Yeah.
And that has nothing to do with me. So like now that same Supreme Court has ruled to overturn Roe v. Wade. And it's just been an interesting thing to see online because the U.S. melted. It was an insane thing of people either celebrating in a super weird way.
Yeah.
Like people being like, offices are closed today. I'm making this a national holiday for the 7 million lives that have been affected by abortion. This is a victory for them. And you're like, all right, bro, chill.
Yeah.
And then you just have like the other side, which is like, I would have never been able to be who I am today if I hadn't gotten my abortion. If I wasn't able to do this, I was on the brink of this, and now I'm able to live a good life. And it's just terrible that no one else will be able to do that anymore. And it's just like a crazy, I'm just like, holy shit. Like I'm seeing all these things on different sides, and I'm like feeling for it so much because I'm just like, that is wild to me that because you don't agree with something, everyone else has got to follow your shit. Like that just seems like the most unfree thing.
It's so annoying that it's like it's my way or the highway, and I'm honestly tired of it and fed up.
Because it's like, yo, I don't cool. If you don't fuck with that shit, then don't do it, right? Like if you don't fuck with that shit and something happens, like then you don't get an abortion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like for you to basically say, yo, I don't want anybody to be on this shit.
Yo, and I was like talking to my girl about it yesterday. Like I was like, it's funny that like how rhetoric switch, right? So like the argument for why you can't take guns away is because, oh, you're going to disarm the innocent, and then bad people are still going to find a way to get guns, and then they'll have all the guns and we won't have any. Why doesn't that same logic apply for abortions?
Yeah, because people are still going to get them, except now it's unsafe and now people are going to die.
Yeah. Like people are still going to die.
Right, except for you're just making it unsafe and unhealthy. But, you know, at the same time, like Portland, Oregon gets to get like all drugs legal. So like your little white kids don't got to be going to jail no more.
Right.
But it's just like nothing actually makes sense. It's just like, right, for real, make it make sense. And everyone's like, the whole my body, my choice argument got thrown out the window when you got forced to be vaccinated. And so now things are just like taking all sorts of weird turns where I'm like, all right, we've been talking about that shit, but like we're not talking about that shit right now. You know what I mean?
And like, one point that I had never thought about that, like, and again, my lady pointed out was the fact that in a medical reason, like, if a baby, like if a woman has to have like basically like the baby dies in the womb.
Yeah.
Like, I think the way this law works is they would still have to give birth to a dead baby.
Another thing was people were saying, what was up with all y'all's HIPAA shit before? All of a sudden, HIPAA mattered. Now, fuck all that shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, it is a whole thing because it's also like, it falls in line with a lot of other issues where it's like, is this a medical thing? Then why the fuck, if it's a medical thing, why are we required?
Why is the government involved?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a whole thing that's just, I've been looking at this and it's just making me wonder, like, we need some sort of voter reform.
Yeah.
We need to be able to, like, as a country at this point, be able to just all vote for issues on our fucking phones, online, and just all of us be involved because obviously the world's not, I mean, the country's not happy.
Or on a state level. Like, I'm to the point where it's like, yo, you don't want to live like this? Move to the state that will support that.
Well, that's where we're at because that's what they did. They made it states' rights. They gave this decision to the states. Over half the states are, like, half of the states are fucking banning it. So it is that way.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with states' rights. And I'm cool with that.
Because then you can vote for, you could shape your state the way you want it.
Yeah. So, but then it's just kind of weird because, like, what are we going to do? Go to California?
I mean,
because then what? Then you can have an abortion and you can smoke weed, but then like you can't leave your house if they tell you can't leave your house.
Yeah. You know,
it's a fucking weird one. It's a double-edged sword. People because people felt that way, right?
Yeah.
And that's why everyone from California came to Texas and came to Austin and went to Florida.
Yeah.
So it's like they did that and they are doing that, but then you realize it still becomes hypocritical. So all of you super, super left people who are completely against everything that Texas believes in all came to Texas.
No, I
Why?
agree. Yeah.
So it's like that's when you realize that it's not.
It's a combination of both.
There isn't good guys and bad guys. Right. It's like, so what do you care about the most right now?
Right.
What is the best thing for you and your family? If you're someone who's trying to have kids and you're not planning on having an abortion, then go to a state that like lets you do your thing. Because for me, I'm just like. I'm just thinking about it from other people, like on an empathetic level. Like, damn it, I feel for you.
Yeah,
but it's not affecting me. You know what I mean?
Right. And like, again, like what she was, and I go back to a lot of what she was saying because it's hard having this conversation as guys. You know, like yes, we get to be fathers, and it does affect us, but we don't have to carry. We can dip, you know.
But we be making the decisions out here, so you know what I'm saying. As men who are making decisions of this country. We should have opinions now because
I can't even vote. Why should I have an opinion? Anyway, what she was saying is like, you know, like it's not that because she was like, I'm not for abortion. I hate abortion, but at the same time, if you take the right away, like one, you're taking again. She's very much like guys shouldn't be telling like women what to do, but also she's talking about like.
Does she get mad at you when you mansplain to her? Does she ever tell you you're mansplaining?
No. But I know I do. But it's like stupid stuff. It's like F1. Like,
Oh, well, it's shit that, of course, she's like, yeah, I mean, I'm not even listening. Go ahead.
yeah.
I'm not even
You know
listening.
that
Continue
meme where
to
it's like the
mansplain.
drunk guy like trying to talk to this girl and it's always like something stupid.
Yeah.
That's like me. That's like that's like me mansplaining something I care about that she has like.
We want to know the one that gets me the most with that shit?
What?
It's when I'm going off on something like that and I'm mansplaining on something that matters to me.
Yeah.
And then, like, my girl will tune back in and be like, damn, you still talking about that? She's like, damn, I toned out for a minute. I came back. You still on that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I see how shit is now.
Yeah.
All right.
But no,
Yeah, I guess we filibustering today. All right.
where I was going with that was basically like, she was like, this outlawing them isn't actually what's gonna prevent abortions from happening. You know, it just makes it pretty so you think they're not happening. But like they're still gonna happen. And it's like she was saying, like, if we actually wanted to reduce abortion, then you teach, you know, you have like
You invest money in education, you invest money into like protection. Because now what they're saying is, right, that with Roe
you don't
v.
even
Wade
have
being,
to, bro, you don't even have to take birth control. You could just give kids condoms.
well, no, but here's the thing now is that they're basically saying that with Roe v. Wade being overturned like this is going to open up the slippery slope, as everyone loves to say, about taking away same-sex marriage, taking away contraception. Basically, like, we suspect within the next few months, Plan B's banned in Texas. So it's going to be like a thing now. So it's like not only do you not want us to like have an abortion, but now it's the second inception happens, that's technically an abortion pill. So they're going to say, like, get rid of that shit. And then on top of that, we don't even have baby formula, dog. The fuck? Like, how are we supposed to feed these kids?
Nah, it don't matter. As long as they're born, it don't matter.
As long as they're born, it don't matter. Afterwards, they can suffer.
Yeah.
And then once they're born, they'll be like, yo, you always trying to use government programming and shit to take care of these goddamn kids.
Yeah, stop having kids, bro.
Right? And it's like, bro, like, it ain't our fault we fertile. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's because those white people really don't be fertile. They be getting upset all the time because they just be like mad unfertile. Like the second that they like the time they're carrying out for the first time, God says that's a wrap. You don't need to be a mom no more. So like that's immediately when you become infertile, and then they get even more irritable, and so that's like a big problem. I feel like we honestly need to work on the fertility of white women, and then maybe this abortion shit will get fixed.
I will say though, sometimes it'd be the most like how would I say? Like, if you're a drug addict or you have mental health problems, it seems like you're mad fertile.
Who the fuck was, I feel like it was a comedian or somebody who made the joke about...
Bro, because, like, this isn't a problem for white trash people.
Oh, I think it was a friend.
They mad fertile.
I think it was a joke on Friends where it was basically the idea was someone was having trouble getting pregnant. And, like, you should just try getting drunk. It worked for a lot of girls in my high school.
Yeah. Like, it's like the more unstable you are, it's like that's a recipe for a baby.
Yeah, I don't know why, because it's always the responsible people that be trying, that be end up having to go and get like IVF and shit like that.
Yeah.
Which are they? I hear that might be a risk of like not being on the table either. But I guess if you're gonna be real, I mean,
like fertilization therapy and all that.
Yeah. But in my thought, technically, if you have no abortions, you have a higher percentage of kids in the foster system, and maybe
there's not going to be no abortions.
You're right.
The rate's going to stay the same, if not maybe increase.
Especially now, where like I don't even know how you're going to be going from state to state with these gas prices the way this economy is.
Yo, bro, don't even get me started on that. All right, so Elvira and I we're planning our anniversary trip, right?
Okay.
Because we're coming up on a year. I know, time flies. And we decided on Destin, Florida. First time I went to Destin, I drove there with my parents because flying was too expensive. Now it feels like flying's a cheaper option.
It might be. It depends.
Like, we got our flight round trip, both of us, for like $180.
Way cheaper than gas.
That's like two stops.
That's 2 stops. You're gonna take. Yeah, it's definitely cheaper to fly right now. That is insane.
Yeah. It's
been an interesting wave right now because like
Bro, we're getting close to California. I saw some $5 pumps. I be seeing some $5 pumps.
I just go to the ones that I know are cheap. I go to the trusted ones that I know I can.
I sell my Sam's Wave.
But see, for me, it depends because like I'm looking at all this stuff and it's like, what do you do now? I'll be going to the beach a lot because I'm like, you ain't got to spend too much to go to the beach, but you got to drive there.
Yo, now it's like, I mean, to be fair, Galveston is an hour, so that's not bad.
Yeah.
You know, you could get there with one tank. Get there, come back, one tank.
For sure. But we always got to, we go to the beach, let's take the most fuel-efficient car. Mm-hmm. Anywhere now.
And you got to pack that hoe up. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know, for real.
Yo, if you go in Roman's car.
Dude, it's ridiculous. We thought about it once, and it was just... We actually did it once.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, there's more space and stuff. And I'm like, fuck all that gas.
Yeah. It's not worth the space.
It's not, especially when you pack in bologna sandwiches like if you're Mexican.
All right, bro.
Are you past the bologna sandwich wave?
Oh, no, I love bologna sandwiches. I will mess up bologna anyway. I'll even fry bologna, bro.
Frying bologna, heat changes things.
Yeah. What I was going to say, how do you feel about eating at the beach?
I love eating at the beach.
All right. This is one thing that, like, I'm very...
You're very anti?
I don't know if it's, like, the germaphobe in me comes out, but, like, I think eating at the beach is disgusting. Like, when, like, your sandwich gets crunchy and you don't know if it's sand.
Well, yeah, that's why you just are safe about it. Like, if you're eating gross at the beach, then yeah, then you wild.
Like my brother-in-law was like, bro, ain't nothing better than when you have sandia at the beach and then it gets like a little sand and it's a little crunchy and you don't know if it's tahini or sand. And I was like, you're gross.
That part's a little wild, but I understand the feeling. It's this sort of like every time I try to go to the beach, it's either bologna sandwiches or like
they all said I'm a bitch. I don't know.
It's 100% true. You are.
Okay.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it live on this podcast, but because you brought it out first,
yeah,
yes, that's 100%. You're like, ew, oh my god, is this sand or is this tahini? Oh no, I'm done. I'm putting it down.
Yeah, I mean I'll eat it, but I'll be pissed about it the whole time, internally. If it's a clean beach, I don't care. But if it's like, dude, it's just maybe it's the fact that it's every time I've done it, it's been at Galveston that I'm just like over it.
I've been going to Freeport more, dog. So much more cleaner, so much less people, so much more vibes. All the Mexicans are there instead of the white people.
Yeah,
it's fun.
And you're just
you're just there, Bad Bunny playing or something, or it's like white trash. It's a vibe.
Yeah,
it's actually a vibe. There's not much trash. There's porta potties out there. There's trash cans.
Yeah,
I've been drive up. Pets around. It's been a vibe out there.
I might be fine with it in Destin because you know at least like the sand is like
white and shit.
Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with brown sand, but it looks like it's done some crimes.
There's something wrong with brown sand. At least it seems like the sand has done some crimes against our environment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Got oil and shit in there. And, you know, Destin beaches are cool. Like. It's green, emerald green water, white sand.
You can see your feet. Bro, the one thing that my pet peeve with Galveston is that you can't see your feet. You're going to have all these algae or maybe fish or whatever just like run up on you. You're going to grow a third leg because it's a toxic wasteland.
You have gotten so bougie.
Bro, you get in Galveston water?
No, but I go to South Padre.
Okay, South Padre is different. I'm talking about Galveston water.
But to be honest, at this point, I go to Galveston and just kind of like chill around Galveston.
Because you're a normal person, but if you get in that water, not as a child, you're a crazy person. I don't trust you.
I mean, look.
If you're a native Texan, if you're not from here and you did it, you know no better.
Nah, I'm gonna be real with you. Sometimes I'll be on my wild shit. I'll be on some reckless little Dirk type street shit, and I get in. Like, I've done it.
That's
I'm
gross,
not going to act
dude.
like I haven't.
That's nasty.
Like, I'm not going to act like I haven't done it. I don't prefer to do it. It's way funner to break into a hotel off of the beach and just get another pool.
Bro, I could...
You ever done that?
Yes.
It's a vibe, right?
Yeah.
It's like the Mexican vibe. That's the one thing we ain't even ashamed of.
No.
We bring the whole family.
Yeah.
By the way, that's the key, by the way. You go to the beach, you find a hotel off the beach, you break into their pool.
Yeah. No, that's what you do. Is that not what you're supposed to do?
I thought that's what you're supposed to. I thought that's why they had them like that.
Yeah. Are they not public?
I thought they were.
I think they are.
They don't. You don't need a key card to get
to
the gate.
Yeah. As long as there's no key card, bro, that's public.
Yeah, you just hop it.
Yeah.
But nah, I don't know, man. Like, it has been a wild thing with like I don't know what's happening. Like, crypto market crashed.
Yo, wait. What do you think about that thing they were saying on Flagrant with like the presidents, where it's like, would you rather have a bad parent or no parents?
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that in my head. Like, I just can't get it out, and I'm like, I don't know what's the better choice.
It depends on you as a person.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. Because if you're someone who like is gonna make a way for yourself, then it's better to have no parent.
Because I feel like I could thrive on no parent.
But you also can be very destructive and completely fuck yourself up.
Yeah.
If you have bad parents, at least you can see an example of what not to do.
That's true. I feel like I became who I am because of the mistakes that my parents made. Not just that I have bad parents, but like, you know, everybody makes mistakes.
Right. Some make more mistakes than others.
Yeah.
But you can see it.
I'm capping.
You can see those mistakes and be like, yo, maybe I shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I shouldn't have handled it the way that they handled it.
Yeah.
But if you have no...
Maybe I shouldn't just be tweeting like this.
Because if you have no history, that's the problem with erasing history. That's why I don't
Yeah.
like the idea... Look, take down statues and put them in a museum. But
Sure.
don't take down statues and not let anybody know what happened. Or rewrite, like, let people know, hey, yo, this dude...
Was like
this dude led a group of people, but he also was doing this fucked up shit. So it's like...
Yeah. Put another
pick
plaque
your
in there.
battles, right.
Yeah.
Put another plaque in there. Let people know what was really going on.
Yeah.
Because if you don't see your history, then you don't know where you can fuck up because history
Yeah.
repeats itself.
Yeah.
So it's like if you don't look at back and be like, yo, they did this shit all fucked up.
Because I think when you look at politics as a good and evil struggle, you end up with the presidency that we have now, where it's like, what are they doing? I don't know. Where's the vice president? I don't know.
Right.
He fell off a bike. I don't know.
And then people are also saying like, yo, that was the replacement president that fell off the bike. We've been getting mad at that. How crazy must this country be where they think we have a replacement president because our president ain't like doing nothing?
Yeah.
It's just so he be saying shit like, I mean, I've been seeing the TikTok go around or something like that where it was like more Americans feel like they're more financially stable, they have more money in their pockets.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a lie. You a lie. Why you capping?
Bro, the one that gets me is like when they blame Russia for inflation, and I'm just like, and I literally either side I could care less. I don't consider myself anything, but yo, no, we made when COVID happened, we said machine money go brrr,
Right.
and gave everybody some money.
And everyone had said that was going to be a problem.
Yeah.
But then we didn't think that the Russia thing was going to compound on top of us like that.
Yeah.
On top of getting out of the Middle East so terribly. And there's just a lot of things that could have been done differently in hindsight. And I don't know. Shit just ain't working. But I'm not even here to be political like that.
I've been talking to my dad. And he's like, how much y'all paying on gas? And he's like, that's crazy. Couldn't be me.
Are we gonna have to start going to Mexico for gas?
Dude, I think he told me that like people that live in El Paso like just cross over for gas, come back.
No, it makes sense, dude.
I would.
I mean, like,
because you're one paying it in pesos.
Right.
Two.
Yeah, dude. It's been real rough right now. But I guess we're gonna end this before we run out of gas.
Yeah. We're gonna learn how to siphon.
Dude, but I've been seeing some gas tanks open.
Yo, hold on. With your catalytic converter getting jacked, does it not? Does the fear of getting siphoned like?
I mean, I don't even know. It's one of those things where it's like the catalytic converter. I was like, I see it happen to so many people, and I'm like, okay, now I see how it can happen to you. The siphon gas thing, I don't know. I've never really thought about that one too much. I think we're gonna hope that one's gonna be all right. That we're gonna be okay on our gas here.
If it happens to you, at least hope it happens on your work truck.
Yeah, I know, for real. One that I don't gotta pay gas on.
Like, yo, if you're gonna siphon this one.
Right? I put a sign.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
This one.
This one's the one. But I think we got what we need. Thanks for listening. Of course, tell your Theos. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe and hit that like because it really helps out with the algorithm.
Let us know what you want us to talk about.
Right. Hit the comments. Hit the share so that you can send it to somebody else and say, hey, yo, look at this. They being wild. They being reckless.
Make sure you listen to our interviews with local comedians. They were great.
Yeah.
Make sure you catch their shows.
More of those out. Go to the secret group. Go to Anchor. Drop the Anchor.
You could go see Roman do comedy.
And we out.